What up? It's Mr. Bradley from Cox Elementary coming back at you with another music lesson. For first grade this week, we're going to be learning about the instrument families. So I have upped my game a little bit on the technology, so we're going to actually get to see the stuff on the screen. All right, so first thing we're going to do is just look at the string family. There's 4 families of instruments in the orchestra. The first one is the string family, which is these instruments here. Then we'll go into the woodwind family, which is these here. And then the brass, which is these 4 here. And the percussion. And we'll talk about each of these individually and how to kind of figure out what each one is and how different instruments fit into each of these families. All right, so let's start with the string family. In the string family, you'll notice that they all kind of have the same shape. So the reason they have this shape is because they have strings that go up and down, and you pluck or strum or play with a bow to make them vibrate, to make noise. The strings instruments that we're going to be talking about specifically today are the violin, viola, cello, and the bass, the double bass. These all basically have the exact same shape, they just vary in size. So they get bigger and bigger, and the bigger they get, the lower the sound gets. So let's take a listen to some string instruments. Now the video that I have to show you today on the string instrument family does not have a bass in it, but it does have 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. So here is this. Put myself up in the corner so you don't have to look at my face. Wait! We are, and then we will share our computer sound. Here it is. Just getting a brief touch on each of these. So the violin is the smallest. That's the one over here. Teeny tiny, about this big generally. And then viola just a little bit bigger. Cello you actually play upright, sitting down, and then bass you have to basically stand up while you play it. All right, so that's the string family. And let's go into the woodwind family. So the distinguishing factor of a woodwind instrument is that you have to blow into a reed for the most part to play these instruments. What a reed is it's a small, you'll notice on the end of these, there's like a little mouthpiece with a reed on it. And it's just a little piece of wood that you blow onto and it vibrates and the sound goes all the way through the instrument. So this is a reed, this is a reed, this is a little teeny tiny reed on the bassoon, and same thing on the oboe. Now the flute and the piccolo don't have a reed, but they have a similar, it makes sound a similar way. You blow down a thing, it vibrates on the edge. Okay, so these instruments are all part of the woodwind family. So let's listen to some woodwind music, and I'll kind of point these out as we go. Are we still sharing my sound? Yep, fantastic. So here's our flute over here. We got our big old bassoon right here. It's one of the larger of the family. Got an oboe right here. And notice that the oboe and the clarinet, which is over here, look very similar, but they have a different kind of a reed. This one has a big mouthpiece on it, and this one has a teeny tiny reed. Nice, okay. Let's go back for a moment to our page. All right, our next family is the brass family. And in the brass family, we have the trumpet, trombone, tuba, and French horn. There's also euphonium, which is like a smaller tuba. Now, the distinguishing factor is that these are all, for the most part, this brassy gold color. Brass is the type of metal that they use to make these instruments. They also all have mouthpieces, and they're played a very similar way with either valves. The trombone you play by moving a slide, but most of these have valves, which is like a little button that you push that changes the sound. So here's the mouthpiece, 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 mouthpiece. Not to be confused with the saxophone. The saxophone has a reed on its mouthpiece. So this one's over here, even though it does look like these. All right, let's listen to some brass music. That's the French horn, trombone, trumpet. Another trombone. And there's the tuba. It's a big old boy. All right, and last but not least, we're going to talk about our percussion family. The percussion family is one of the largest families, or actually it is the largest family in the orchestra, because basically anything can be a percussion instrument. All of these instruments, xylophone, claves, triangle, snare drum, cymbals, tambourine, maracas, bass drum, timpani, piano. The general rule for percussion instruments is anything that you can hit, shake, or scrape fits into this family. So if you hit it, shake it, or scrape it to make a sound, it is a percussion instrument. So let's listen to some percussion music. I have chosen one of my favorite songs being played by a percussion ensemble. So these are marimbas, which are like big xylophones. Notice that they're hitting to play. Got some drums in the back. Some bells here. Thunder. Okay, that's enough of that. All right, so our assignment for the day, or for the week, I suppose, is we are going to be listening to a piece of music and finding which instruments or instrument families are in that music. So we'll walk through one of these together, and I picked a video that we can kind of see what they're playing as they're playing it to kind of help us out. So let's open this thing up. I'll put myself in an obscure location so we can listen and kind of follow along. And if you want to follow along on that sheet, you can circle the ones that you notice in this. Now you can obviously see there's some here. Let's get started. Let's start here. This is Bizet, Carmen Overture. Notice that you got the whole string family here. You got the violins, violas, cellos, and bass playing. In the back, big old guys back here. Oh, that guy's doing some fancy moves with the cello. And here you'll see you have all of the brass instruments and some of the woodwinds back here as well. But you got your French horns and all that stuff. This you're all playing in here, so you can circle all the instruments that you see. Awesome. All right, so what you're going to do with your thing is I want you to search this song, which is Grieg, in the Hall of the Mountain King, also known as Peer Gynt, Suite Number 1. But if you search this, you'll find something, and there's a lot of cool videos of this. Try to find one where you can see the instruments playing if possible, so that you can pick out the instruments that are playing as they're playing. I have to move my face so much. I should just put myself in the bottom corner the whole time. All right, so listen to Peer Gynt in the Hall of the Mountain King. And with the sheet, you will circle the instruments and the families that you hear. Good luck. I hope to see you on the flip grid and see some of the awesome stuff that you've done. All right, have a wonderful week. I miss you already. Love you. Thank you. Bye. I didn't do it right.